Noisy destruction, but that's a normal day for Criterion. Would that be correct, Matt?
Yeah, it probably would actually, yeah. Not a bad way of putting it.
Now, obviously, we're here at the EA Showcase to talk about the game, but the game's coming out. You guys are done, you've dusted, everything's finished?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's although finishing a game these days is a really elongated process, so it is good to come to these events and see people enjoying it, but as much as seeing what they're doing, you're also seeing all those things you wish you could have fixed.
I like the actual, when you're talking during the presentation, the whole be distracted thing. I think that's a great almost slogan for Most Wanted. I mean, is that what you guys feel like you've finally realised now the project's over?
Well, it is. I think that, you know, so we came to this game off the back of Hot Pursuit, and prior to that, Burnout Paradise and A Year in Paradise, and those experiences you learn from and they inspire you, and we learned an incredible amount doing those games, and certainly in an open world game, what we call a distraction gameplay is insanely important. So this goes alongside something else that we say, which is not playing the game is the game, right? So many games have an authored experience for you, but the beauty of an open world game is when it's open, go chill. There's freedom and choice for players, and so it's our job to put these systems in place and to have a loose structure to facilitate the play, but then go play. And so watching it is very liberating. But so what I said at the top was we live in a bubble. You know, we play games professionally as well as for fun. And actually, when we watch people play an open world game, it's very interesting. It's liberating for many people. But if you're coming at it from a particular point of view, perhaps a conventional point of view, you just need a little bit of a reminder. Then be distracted, welcome it, welcome the change. We've done a whole bunch of work here on freedom and choice for the player, and to be distracted, and a broad a set of gameplay, a broad range of skills. So go and be distracted.
I mean, do you guys feel like everything you've set out to do on the project you've succeeded? Or, I mean, you said there obviously jokingly that there's obviously things that maybe you want to go tweak there, but is there a sense you've finished this project? Yep, we've ticked off all those boxes.
Oh, I don't know if anything ever finishes quite like that. I mean, it's serious. You know, when we look, there's a whole bunch of things that you wish you could, you know, and also actually, you know, in the first weekend of release, a game's going to get hundreds of thousands of hours worth of play. And by watching people play, you learn a lot, and that will, you know, you then take that learning back into, you know, into whatever you're going to make next. So I think that we set out to achieve something, and along the way that we work is we have an idea, we have a point of view, we build, we play, we review, we change until we shape something. And I think that we've achieved something. I think something really powerful with this. You know, in terms of games are very, very serious these days, and one of our goals was to just get back to the fun a little bit. You know, let's put a smile on people's faces, and let's you know, have a game that allows people to just pick a pad up. I mean, this would be true whatever game that we make. Our studio values are fun, accessible, very highly connected games that put friends at the centre of the experience. So, have we achieved that in this one? Yeah, I think we have, and I think that we've pushed a bunch of principles a lot further as well.
Well, that's it. I mean, it is a sense of you're improving things. You know, things like Autolog's improved from last year. You've done the open world, like you said, from all the way from Burnout Paradise, and certainly even the easy driving element from Burnout Paradise is carried forward. How you reshape those things, perhaps per se, learning what you have over the course of these projects, but at the same time retain this essential element of what you wanted them to be and for what you wanted players to take from them.
It's this.
Sorry, that does seem like a massive grand question.
But the principle is you build it, you play it, you have a point of view, you make a change, you build it, you play it, you iterate it. I mean, it will always be like that. That's why the studio is set up to build, in a technical sense, the game as frequently and as quickly as you possibly can. Another way of coming at that question is, you make something to answer a particular question. So Autolog, for example, why doesn't a game automatically track my high score and then automatically tell my friends when I've beaten them? I mean, these machines have had network connections for 7 years, and a friends network for the same amount of time. It's actually quite an immature friends network in terms of what we're used to. So we've had to go off and construct some things to make up for those deficiencies. But the point of view is extraordinarily important of a fun game that friends at the center, and then you have to build something, play it, change it, and continue along that cycle. That's how you make something better.
It's maybe a hard one to answer, but particular favorite moment from this project anyway? Is there any particular moment or particular thing you achieved that you thought, yeah, I'm really proud of this?
Yeah, I think that when we put smiles on people's faces, either when they're driving the car, because I actually think this is the best handling we've ever done. It's the broadest range of cars than we've ever done before, and a wider variety of surfaces than we've ever done before. When we put a smile on people's face with driving the car, the billboards are a very personal favourite, because it is a very graphic representation of being a friend, and it's something that's not been done before. And had we not have been on a very in-depth journey with the principle of Autolog, you can't build that feature. Without that principle of friends, everything is better with friends, and to not be wavered by, well, what if I don't have any friends? That's important. And then the whole multiplayer. I mean, we have people bursting out, to have burst out laughter when people play the multiplayer is special. And I have that even now, and I'm still discovering things in the city even now, and I'm discovering cars that. I'm a big BMW fan, but I spent, my most recent time, I spent the most amount of time with the Mercedes SLS. It's just a joy of a car. And so for those sorts of things to change, I think that we've hit on something really powerful. The funniest one was when another producer and I, Hamish, we were going through all the multiplayer speed lists, and we were working. I think I was rocking it out on this on the SLS, and he was in the Ford GT, and I'd gone and I don't know. I think it was my turn to make some tea or something, and so I came back and I'm like, something feels different here. This car feels. He's suddenly beating me in a whole bunch of these things, which wasn't the norm. And then I go back and he's turned all the mods off on the car. So but that is very much us. This. Because it's about friends, what would normally be naturally called griefing is funny because it's between friends. When it's with strangers, it's frustrating, but when it's amongst friends, it's like practical joking and just good fun. And so I think that's the one that sort of sticks with me in terms of putting a smile on my face. But in terms of them watching people play. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different things that people get into the game that puts a smile on their face, and that's really the reason why we do this.
That's absolutely fantastic. Well, I guess that's exactly what you want to have players getting out of the game when they actually get hands-on with it. Well, what's next for you? I mean, have you guys? I mean, you mentioned the Year of Paradise and stuff like that. Is there a roadmap there, or a wish that you guys can stay with the Most Wanted and continue it on?
I think the great thing about extensions of games is it allows, like I said to you, it's a very elongated process finishing a game now, because first of all, we're doing it on more platforms than we've ever done it before, but also when you're going global and you're trying to get out for a particular date, you make decisions knowing that you have an opportunity to go back to the game. I've got to tell you that it's extraordinarily difficult thinking about anything other than this thing being released and what the future may hold. I mean, who knows what it holds for us. Having said that, extending a game is really powerful, and we learned an incredible amount doing Burnout Paradise and those extensions to the game. A lot of what you see on the screen was born out of that journey. So who knows?
Listen, I have to say, honestly, whatever you guys do, we're going to look forward to seeing it. We love the games. Thank you very much indeed for taking the time.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.